Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of On the Hunt with Alpine Optics. I'm your host, Rick White, and we've got quite a show for you tonight. Good buddy of mine from North Carolina, Mr. Phil Dixon with Ellimination, and we're going to talk about going to the deer woods and elk woods scent free. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. It is a beautiful evening once again here in my home state of Iowa. A little bit buggy out, but hey, we're going to have a great time this evening. And towards the end of the show, we may have a little bit of a surprise for you. So make sure you stick around the whole show. But anyways, hey, let's jump right into it. My guest this evening is Mr. Phil Dixon, all the way from North Carolina. Phil, how you doing this evening?
I'm good, Rick. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be on here with you. We've been talking about doing this for, I don't know, a couple of years, and every time something messes up, usually on my end. So I'm excited to be here. Excited to
Well, that's
talk
good. Hey,
with
why
your
don't you
listeners.
take just a few minutes here or a minute and introduce yourself and tell people kind of what you do and what you're doing now and what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, so I'm out in North Carolina. I'm the brand director for Ellimination Hunt. We've been out on the market for 5 years now. Um, I'm actually full time. I'm a state trooper in North Carolina, but I retire next year, and I'll be able to jump on this full time. But everything Ellimination Hunt I do, all of our social media, marketing, a lot of the sales. Um, I'm that guy. So um, basically, everything runs through me, and we've been at it for quite a while, and we bring a very good, unique, different product to the market.
Well, you're the guy that can definitely answer questions, and we're going to jump right into that. Let's talk scent elimination because and I talk about this on the show on a regular basis. So you folks that are watching tonight, you might get tired of me a little bit because I'm talking about some of the same things. But the most important thing, in my opinion, that you can do to be successful in the deer and the elk, I mean, anytime you're out hunting big game, is really going to the woods scent free. Now, neither one of us are gonna sit back and say, go intentionally hunt a bad wind. No, that I would never tell you that. But there are reasons to be scent free, and I hear from a lot of people, that I smoke in my tree and it doesn't bother them, or I don't use any scent elimination practices and I'm successful. Well, you may be, but how do you know what you're missing? You know, I'm a big scent free nut when it comes to checking trail cams, just going out and trimming shooting lanes. And then, of course, when I'm hunting, and I mean, I do it 100%. And let me also say, and Phil, and you can jump in here in just a moment, but if you're not going to do it 100%, yeah, save your money and don't do any of it because there is a system. And if you work the system, it's inexpensive, it's easy to do. You can guarantee you'll be more successful in the deer woods. And Phil, I know you've got a lot to add about that, but why is scent elimination so important to any hunter, really, for that matters?
Yeah, so the thing is that as we all know, whether you're a novice hunter or whether you're a very experienced hunter, the number one defense that the animal has is their smell. And whether we like it or not, we create odor from bacteria. And so to be able to eliminate or prevent or whatever word you want to use with your odor is extremely important. Now, with the Elimishield products, we kind of take a little bit a different attitude on it. A lot of products out there that you will find, they will wait until the odor forms and then they will try and deal with it. Um, and you can do that a couple different ways. You can encapsulate it, you can absorb it, you can use a chemical process to create what's called a chemical kill. But we are a little different. What we do is we try to uh, prevent that problem being odor, uh, by preventing the odor from completing the process as it forms from bacteria. So if you were to look at our process, if you were to spray down and you look at the garment that you sprayed under a microscope, it would look like a three-legged bar stool, and that's what attaches to your garment, right? On the opposite side of it is a spike, and that spike has a charge. Well, as odor forms, it has an equal but opposite charge. So our spike draws that in, and it ruptures that. and it turns it into an odorless salt. And it continues to do that, continues to do it, continues to do it over and over and over and over again. So, as where some companies like to wait for that odor to exist and then try and tackle it, we don't want it to even exist. We want to get it before it's a problem. We don't want it to be able to be released into the atmosphere where it's going to affect your hunt. I tell people all the time, Rick, uh, you know, hang your stands danger close. And I even tell people, give the deer your wind. Like if you don't believe in this product, go somewhere where you know the deer are, but you've never hunted because you're afraid the wind's never right. If you use our process correctly, I encourage you, give them your wind. It's that easy. I will assure you, by using our products, much less any kind of scent control, you're going to increase your odds. You're going to have a better experience in the woods, and really, that's what we're all after. We're all after the experience in the woods, and you know as well as I do, Rick. Uh, the kill is a bonus. The experience is the plus. And I've had just as good a hunt being covered up by deer and have my heart rate going and is that big one next to come out. I've had that experience many more times than I've had killing big deer. But to me, that's why I get out in the woods, is for that experience.
I mean, absolutely. And what people, I think, think back, all you guys that are watching tonight's show that are deer hunters, how many times have you actually had a deer come in downwind of you when you weren't expecting them to? A deer can come in from any direction at any time, especially if you're out there grunting. You're calling to deer, you're decoying deer. Those deer, those mature bucks generally are going to come in and they're going to circle and go downwind. So, there's so many reasons to be scent free. And like you said, Phil, your body produces bacteria and odor on a regular basis. And, there's a couple of products. So most people know that I worked for another outdoor company for years and used different scent elimination for years, and it worked pretty good. But I'm telling you, I started using Elimishield not because you know that you guys approached me and said, hey, we'd like you to use our product, which I was willing to try anything. But I tried several different things, and I set my sights on Elimishield because, quite honestly, it's the best scent elimination I've ever used. And there is a process. Now, here's a couple things I like. It used to be that we tried to tell people that you got to go out and spray your clothes every time you go to the woods. Well, with the Elimishield, you really don't need to. You go out, you saturate your clothes with spray, and you let it dry, and it's good. Phil, and you jump in here. What, for about 2 weeks before you'd have to respray? Is that about right?
Yeah, that's right. So it's 14 days after one application. And those 14 days are not 14 calendar days. Those are 14 days of hunting. Um, you know, One of the things that is key with scent control products, especially ours, and you have to think about it, okay? So if you're wanting to eliminate the odor that your body creates, spraying down the outside of a heavy coat is not necessarily the best way to do it. You have to start, number one, with your body itself. Now, we have a hair and body wash that kills all the bacteria on your body. So it kind of, I always compare it to a canvas, that's getting ready to get painted on. So once you get out of the shower, you have that clean canvas. And that's where our core body foam comes in. It's the only direct to skin scent control on the market. You put it on, it's a foam. It goes on. It bonds to the outside of your skin. Okay, it's going to eliminate all of the bacteria that your body creates. All right, um, before it has a chance to become odor. But going forward with your gear, all of your first layer of clothes. So we're talking about your socks, your underwear, your long johns, your shirt, everything that touches your skin. When you treat it, turn it inside out. Spray it down, saturate it. And when I say saturate it, it needs to be dripping when you get done with it. Okay. Let it either drip dry or let it dry for an hour, maybe two, and then throw it in the dryer. With our product, once the water evaporates, then our molecule is left behind. So you can do that air drying or you can do it in the dryer. So I always tell people your next to skin layers and your second layer most definitely need to be turned inside out and treated. Now, our spray, uh, um, along with the aluminum shield molecule, also has an enzyme formulation in it. And that enzyme formulation is specific to what I call atmospheric odors. So your gasoline, your cigarette smoke, you know how you walk in a Subway and you walk out, like Subway restaurants, and you walk out and you smell like Subway? That's what that enzyme is there for, is to encapsulate those odors. So on your outer stuff, I always spray down my outer stuff for those atmospheric odors. But all of my other stuff, I treat with our Extend product. And that's a one-time treatment that after you saturate all of your garments in this, it's good for the whole year. You can't wash it out, you can't wear it out. It's good for the whole year. And that way I know that I've done every single thing that I can to prevent odor.
So we've got a question from Phil Smith. It says, I continuously spray down while in the stand. Does that make the product less effective?
So this gentleman's name was Bill, is that right?
Phil
Phil, yeah, Phil
Smith.
Smith.
Okay, Phil, good question. And I see this a lot. A lot of people go into the stand and they've got that spray bottle hanging from their bag. With the Lemon Shield, we are a dry process. So everything needs to be dry. So you would spray down once the night before you would go in, and there's no need to spray down again for 2 weeks. And again, 2 weeks being 2 weeks of hunting, 14 days in the stand. Okay, so there's no need for you to do that. If you treat everything correctly, the way I've explained it, there's no need for you to reapply. Now, there are other brands out there that utilize other processes, and because their process is very weak, the efficacy is only about 3 to 4 hours. And that's why they encourage you to reapply uh, in the stand. There's no need to do that with our process. Um, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money, and also it's just more movement in the stand that's completely unnecessary.
Yeah, and that's a really good point, Phil, because you know movement is also huge mistake that a lot of people make, and the great thing about this product is, I mean, 14 days, guys. It's just one less thing you have to mess with, and it saves you product. I mean, it goes further, so your money, your dollar, actually goes further. And I'm telling you, try it because you'll be more successful. One of the products I really like is the body foam. It is phenomenal. In fact, I use it. I use it every day. I quit using hand sanitizers because of all the alcohol, and my hands were getting raw, and I use the body foam, and I've got them in a gallon, jug, and I mean, talk about that a little bit, Phil. That's a phenomenal product.
Yeah, the core body foam's great. It's water based. It's hypoallergenic. It's biodegradable, um, and it's not gonna leave your skin dry. I use it for deodorant every single day. I work in law enforcement primarily, like we talked about, and when I get out of the shower every day, I put it on my feet, I put it in my midsection, and I put it under my arms as deodorant. I can go out here and work in this North Carolina heat for 10 hours, come home, and I have no body odor. So, from a standpoint of the core body foam, it's wonderful because alcohol products, uh, they're transdermal, meaning they pass through your skin and your bloodstream. Ours does not. Ours bonds to the outside of your skin. And I tell people all the time, I'm a salesman, but I'm I want people to listen to how I explain things, but they need to try it and see it for themselves. And as you pointed out, Rick, the core body foam is so awesome for so many different reasons. I've got a 14-year-old son that's a football prodigy. He's 190 pounds. He's 6'1", and he just stinks. Every day before practice, he puts all the core body foam on head to toe when he gets out of the shower, and he comes home from a 3-hour practice and he has no body odor whatsoever. Uh, It really is, and I hate the phrase game changer, but unfortunately, it really applies here because it is. I encourage people, we have a full money back guarantee on all of our products. I encourage you, if you want to see what a Lemon Shield hunt is all about, just order a bottle of the core body foam. You can get it from Amazon, you can get it from Hunter Safety Systems website. Um, get it, take a shower, put it on as deodorant, and see how many days you can go before you have body odor. That you will learn how effective our science and technology is once you do that.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point because I was going to ask you where people can get it. So Amazon, but Hunter Safety System also markets the Shield brand, so you can get it, both areas. So, but absolutely, I mean, you got to give it a try, and let's talk a little bit about when I do my seminars and stuff, I'm always talking scent elimination, and when you think about scent elimination, and I'm always thinking about it 100%. Here's something I talk about. So your hunting boots, for instance. How many of you out there wear your hunting boots for something other than hunting? I mean, not everybody has 10 pair of hunting boots and they use this pair just for deer hunting and this pair just for that. A lot of people will go out and shovel snow in their hunting boots in the Midwest, or maybe when they're chopping firewood they're wearing their hunting boots. So, for that reason, you have to make sure that those boots that you're taking, if you went out and chopped wood or you went out and shoveled snow, how many of you wore your boots inside your vehicle? And maybe you went and bought gas for your chainsaw or whatever and whatever. I mean, that all that scent goes into those things you're wearing. So if you're wearing those to the woods, you're going to have an issue because being scent free isn't just taking care of your clothing. It's taking care of, I mean, your hat, your gloves, your underwear, your socks, your
So,
boots. Um, Now,
Jordan
rubber boots. Let's
Dean,
talk a little bit about rubber boots.
so
How does the spray work and adhere to like rubber, for instance?
Yeah, our spray it bonds to everything, whether it's porous or non-porous. So, I see a lot of pictures, a lot of videos when I watch some of these hunt shows on TV and YouTube, and right before people go in, they'll spray their boots down, and that's just absolutely the wrong thing to do. Spray your boots down and just let them dry. Once they dry, uh, it's almost like you walk in with a bubble of protection around you because whatever scent you may have on those boots, uh, our process is going to eliminate. But it's also going to prevent anything from being picked up in the future. With my boots, and I've got three pairs of boots. I basically got an early season, I've got a late season, and then I've got a pair that I would wear if it's going to be wet or snow or whatever. I treat all of mine usually the 1st of October, 1st of November, 1st of December. That's it, three times. And after that, there's no need for you to do it again. Um, but when you spray stuff down, whether it's with our spray or a competitor spray, when it's wet and you're walking in, you're carrying odors with you. They're getting into that moisture and they're walking in with you. That's why I say our process is a dry process. Spray it, let it dry, and then utilize it in however you're going to use that garment or boot or harness or whatever you've sprayed down.
so
Yep. Well,
Michael
very good point.
DiGiovanni
Well,
asks, do you make a pre-wash for clothing?
Yes, Michael, we do. We've got a full line. So we have the laundry detergent, and that is formulated specifically for dirt and blood. Obviously, it's scent free. We also have hair and body wash. We have the spray. We have the core body foam, which we've talked about. And then we've got the extend process. And that is a process where you get 3 gallons of hot water. You pour this 10 ounces of lemon shield in there, and then you can treat up to 10 pounds of garments. You saturate them for 10 minutes. After they come out, you wring it out, you let it line dry or throw it in the dryer. And once it dries, for that whole season, that garment is now treated. You will not have any problems with that garment. It won't sour. You won't have any. It won't carry any odor, nothing. So you treat it one time, and you're done for the rest of the season. So yes, we have a full spectrum of products.
Yep. And let's talk, because a lot of people have it, but women will love it because it's not only a great body wash, but when I wash my hair with it, not dry my hair out whatsoever. And I really like that. And I know a lot of women always ask me about that because the scent free shampoos and stuff that they use dries their hair out. Try this because it
Yeah,
doesn't. It really is a great product. Now look,
and
everybody knows
Rick,
what this. What's
we
that?
actually consulted. We actually consulted with some professional uh, women's hairdressers when we were formulating this, just for that reason. And the women in the hunting industry are the biggest growing um, uh, category out there. And to your point, the hair and body wash we get rave reviews about for that reason you just said, in that it does not dry their hair out.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, look it. I've got my Alpenbresser hat here, and you know what that means. Inside this hat, I have all these little slips of paper numbered 1 to 50, and Phil has been kind enough to allow us to give away a little Elimishield kit this evening, and we're going to draw a number from this hat here in about 5 minutes. So I want everybody to jot a number down. Paul will take those numbers and look at them. And the guys, just I say every week, just think of a number and post it. Don't cut somebody out by one number. And let's not do that. But go ahead and get your numbers in. And here in about 5 minutes, I'm going to draw a number, and we're going to give away a little Elimishield kit. Now,
So
Phil,
I
I'll
got a
talk a little bit about some of the other products because I'm really impressed with some of the other products that your company manufactures, and one of them is a cooler cleaner, and you can even tell them about the test you used to do because it is really amazing.
Yeah, and a little bit of background. So, Shield is a brand that is made by Bryson Industries, and Bryson Industries is, for lack of a better term, a safe chemical solution company. Um, we have a very well-known grill cleaner called Citrus Safe. You can find it in every pretty much every major retail store in the country. And so we do a whole lot of different things, and one of them is the Citrus Safe cleaner and deodorizer for coolers. And as you can tell, Rick, one of the first times I met Rick, we actually had a spray bottle that had shrimp and water in it that had been sitting for about 4 or 5 weeks. And you can imagine how putrid that smell is. And we would spray it on a paper towel, and then you can't get so close to it because it's so putrid. And then we would take our cooler deodorizer and spray it on top of it, and you could put it as close to your face as you could possibly get, and you can't smell anything. And Rick, you can attest to that. You saw it, and it's a phenomenal product, and it's one of those things where uh, we've had a lot of success with people that do a lot of deep sea fishing. They have the really, really big coolers, and they constantly have that foul odor in there. Um, you go in there with the deodorizer, you spray it, you shut the lid, you wait about 2 minutes, you open it back up, and then you can get in and do your work as far as cleaning it with the cooler cleaner. And that's Citrus Safe. That's a Citrus Safe product. You should be able to find it on Amazon. It's phenomenal. I love that product. I can't tell you how many times I've had a big cooler that's had deer meat in it. Um, and I get it out, I wash all the blood out, and it's still got a smell. I spray it with a deodorizer. It's great. I don't know if people have ever had to experience a freezer that's lost power and you don't realize it. And now you've got a freezer that stinks from all that meat that has thawed out. Um, it's the only way you can get in there and clean it is to use that deodorizer. Um, and I will tell you firsthand, We have used numerous dead animals and roadkill in our R&D with this project. And when it kills a dead skunk in a cooler in North Carolina heat after a couple of days, when it kills that odor, I'm telling you, it works. So yeah, definitely
So
check that out.
we want to use this when the dog comes back smelling like a skunk.
Well, you can use that, but you can also use the Aluminum Shield Hunt spray.
Huh.
We've had great success with folks that have kennel clubs, and the dogs go out and come back from getting sprayed by a skunk, and people kind of raise an eyebrow, like, yeah, right, that's a pretty bad smell. Uh, but once they try it and they see it, it's totally safe for the dog. It's not going to hurt the dog's coat.
Right.
Uh, all it's going to do is neutralize that odor.
What about
I you know you
like a heavy ammonia or something like that?
um That's a good one. That would be a question for my boss because I'm not exactly sure of ammonia's chemical makeup.
Yeah.
So I don't know how our process would work with that.
So sometimes I help people that are older and their houses are messed up and stuff. And Febreze does okay, but it's not going to kill it, you know? And I'm not worried
Right.
about
Febreze
having no
masks
scent.
it.
Huh?
Febreze is basically a masking agent.
Yeah. So I was just looking for some way to, they got cockroaches or mice, things like that. It's bad.
Yeah, and I would encourage you to try the Aluminum Shield Hunt spray first.
Okay.
Um, one of the things that product does is it prevents souring of your garments. So, if you think about if you've ever been caught out in a rainstorm during turkey season and you're sweating and then you get wet, just how nasty that smell is after your gear sits in the back of your truck for a day or two, that's a souring smell. And our spray prevents that.
Kind of like
So,
a little
back
mildew,
to your
right?
point about some of the putrid smells in houses, yes, I would most certainly encourage you to try that.
Very nice.
All
I
right,
think
Paul.
we will next time.
How many? We got some numbers.
Yeah, we've got numbers upon numbers upon numbers.
All right. So it's that time. We're gonna give something here. Okay. So I've got
24.
my Alpenbresser hat here. All right.
24,
I'm gonna
Rick.
reach in here.
24.
Huh?
24.
Okay. Whatever. All right. Number.
He
I've
won't let
got a
me
number,
win,
and
so
there it
I get
is.
to
It's number
guess.
34.
34. Rick, it's supposed to be a
34 is
24.
the number. Yeah.
24,
Well, it's
Rick.
34.
All
Who's
right. So we got a 37. Let me go back. 37. 37. Da, 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 da. 37 is the closest, right? To 34?
and who is
Yeah.
that?
Steve Harnden.
Steve Herndon. All right. I know Steve. Steve's an outfitter down in Missouri, and he knows of Shield because I've
Wait,
hunted down there
is
with
it
him, and
Pudgy
I've
or Steve? Wait a minute. Pudgy and Steve picked the same number. You got a quarter? Flip a quarter.
let's have those two pick another number, okay?
All right, pick
And I'll
another
just
All
number.
draw
right,
another
hey,
number.
hey, Rick, why don't
Yes.
we just do this? We'll just send a kit to each of them.
Okay, there you
Cool.
go.
Pudgy
Answer
Mitchell
solved.
and Steve Harnden.
Okay. Well, Phil will send a kit to both of them. Guys,
Yay.
make sure you send me contact information. You can either send it to me or get on Bresser Alpen's Facebook page. And if you want to email it to me, and I'll give you my email address here right now over the air, but it's rwhite0419 at gmail.com. So again, rwhite0419 at gmail.com. But we'll and I'll get on the show later, and I'll get you. We'll make sure you get it. So I'll get
And
the information to Phil. We'll get it off to you.
I'm gonna try
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
stuff on the heavy ammonia that sometimes comes around these houses when we're in there
There you
trying
go.
to clean them up.
Right
See what
now,
happens.
listen. One other thing, I would ask all of you to go on Shield's Facebook page and give them a like and follow them
Yeah,
because
we've got
it's a phenomenal product.
Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you have any questions, I run all of those, so it'll come through me, and I will get back with you usually within an hour. So please follow us. We've got some great content. You're going to see all of Rick's. He's going to have probably 12 booners he kills this year. You're going to get to see all of them on there. So
Yeah,
Boomers.
make sure and give us a follow.
Don't shoot the boomers. They're just old. Oh wait, you're talking about something
Booner,
else.
Booner, Bonner. There you go. All right. Say, Phil, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I know we've been working on it for a while, and this half hour went really fast. So we'll get you on again sometime. But great
Yeah,
information and a great of products. Phil, thank you for coming on tonight.
So
absolutely. I enjoyed it. Thank you for all your listeners tuning in, and we'll have to do it again soon.
so
All right.
I
Well,
I wanted to throw my little hat in the ring here, and I was talking about a podcast a couple of weeks ago that I'm doing, and it's things I want to know on any of the services, Spotify, wherever. I don't do it for money. We just horsing around. So I'd like to let everybody know if you want to find it, it's paulgnewton.com. You can find the podcast, and you'd be helping me out because my girlfriend and I are doing the podcast. And plus, we have a lot of different guests about random things. So if we ever come down to a hunting problem, Rick's going to be on if he wants to be.
there you go. All right. Well, good. Well, hey, thanks again, Phil. Paul, thanks for throwing the show together. And folks that were watching tonight, we appreciate you tuning in with us,
Yeah.
and
And
check
and
us
of
out.
course, Alpin and Explore Scientific, which are sister companies, both sponsor my podcast anyway. So that's part of it.
There you
So
go. And Phil, I've told you before, Phil, if you need any optics of any kind, let me know, and I'll help you out there too. So, but anyways,
Absolutely. Thanks,
next
Rick.
week, I'm not 100% sure who our guest is at this point, but we'll have something exciting going on for sure. I'm going to be starting to hunt next Saturday at fellow pro staff member Mike McDonald's place. He better have some deer for me, Mike. I hope you're watching this evening. But anyways, guys, it's time to shut her down. I appreciate everybody coming along with us tonight. Thank you, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Good night, everybody.